You were never meant to see this message, but heaven allowed it. Archangel Michael says, this moment was written for you long ago. My dearest soul, there are no coincidences in the kingdom of heaven. The very fact that your eyes have landed on these words is a divine orchestration, a thread woven into your destiny before time began. Archangel Michael himself steps forward, his presence radiant with truth, saying, this moment was written for you long ago. There is a reason you were never meant to see this message until now. The heavens concealed it, waiting for the appointed hour, the moment your heart would be ready to receive. You have walked through confusion, silence, and unseen warfare, wondering if heaven had forgotten you. But listen, the veil has been lifted because you have reached the turning point written in your book of destiny. Archangel Michael shows me a scroll, glowing, sealed with light. Your name is engraved upon it. It carries the record of divine promises yet unfulfilled. He whispers, child of light, the time delay is over. What you thought was loss was divine preparation. Every unanswered prayer was aligning your spirit with heaven's perfect timing. There is a shift happening around you, subtle yet unstoppable. The air feels different, doesn't it? That's because the angels have changed formation around your life. Archangel Michael has moved from observation to intervention. You are stepping into the page that was reserved for this season, the page heaven refused to reveal until you were strong enough to handle the revelation. For months, you've been sensing that something beyond reason was calling you. That feeling wasn't your imagination. It was heaven's signal, echoing through your spirit. Archangel Michael says, the seals are breaking. You are about to remember who you are. Stay close, because the next moments will unravel mysteries that have slept in silence for years. Hold your breath, for what's coming next will confirm what your soul already knows, that you were never abandoned, only hidden for glory. Before you scroll, remember, heaven doesn't make mistakes. You found this message because you were chosen to hear what comes next. Type I receive the revelation in the comments if this message stirs your spirit. Blessing code 1444 has just been activated. Beloved child of destiny, the moment you opened your heart to this message, the heavens began to move on your behalf. Archangel Michael stands tall beside you, his sword gleaming with divine authority, cutting through invisible cords that once restrained your breakthrough. He says, the delay that once bound you is now broken by decree. This is not just a message, it is a spiritual appointment written before you were born. Every second leading up to this moment has been heaven's preparation for what's unfolding now. You may not realize it, but the energy around you has shifted. Old cycles are collapsing. The people and situations that once drained your spirit are losing their grip, not by chance, but because Archangel Michael has stepped into your timeline. He is redirecting the flow of your life toward divine purpose. The confusion, the exhaustion, the strange silence you've been feeling, all of it was the pressure of heaven rearranging your story from the unseen realm. And now, that rearrangement is taking visible form. Archangel Michael shows me the image of an ancient door. It's heavy, rusted, and long untouched. For years, you stood before it, knocking, praying, waiting. Heaven says the key was never missing. It was maturing. Your endurance has been the key. Every tear, every prayer you thought went unheard, was unlocking the divine gate. Now the hinges are turning, slowly but surely, and what lies beyond it will astonish you. You have been sensing a restlessness, the tug in your heart telling you something big is near. That's not anxiety, it's divine anticipation. The heavens have been whispering your name in council rooms of light. Archangel Michael says, do not mistake stillness for silence. Heaven has been writing behind closed doors. There are conversations happening in your favor right now. Conversations your natural ears cannot hear, but your spirit can feel. Something sacred is approaching you. A divine alignment that will make sense of everything that once broke you. You will begin to see signs in the next few days. Numbers repeating, dreams returning, words from strangers confirming what heaven has already spoken. Do not dismiss them. These are coded signals that your spiritual path has entered its awakening stage. Archangel Michael says, your spirit has been upgraded. Walk as one who carries revelation. The next unveiling will reveal why you were chosen to see this message, the deeper truth behind the moment heaven allowed you to witness it. Hold on, because what's coming next is the turning point between confusion and clarity. Stay with me. The next release will open what has been sealed since before your birth. Type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if this message is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 2299 has now been released. Chosen soul, as the scroll of heaven continues to unfold, Archangel Michael steps forward again, his wings stretching wide, commanding the winds of change around your life. He says the hour of unveiling has begun. You are stepping into what was hidden from generations past. Every storm you endured was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to refine you. You have been walking through the shadows of divine preparation, and now the light of revelation is breaking through. Heaven is saying, this is the moment creation itself has waited for. The moment you remember who you are. In the heavenly realm, there are seasons when destiny must be announced before it can manifest. You are in that season now. The angelic host is realigning your atmosphere. Doors that refused to open are now trembling under the weight of divine command. You may feel sudden shifts, people leaving your life, unexpected silence, or strange peace after long battles. Do not fear it. Archangel Michael whispers, the pruning is proof of promotion. He is cutting away what cannot follow you into your next season. Listen carefully. There is a prophetic pattern at work in your life. What once appeared as delay was actually synchronization. Heaven does not rush divine timing. Every unanswered prayer was a seed sown into sacred soil. And now, the ground is responding. Archangel Michael shows me waves of golden light moving through your path, restoring what was stolen and multiplying what was planted. The heavens have recorded your perseverance, and the reward is now unfolding in divine sequence. You were never meant to stumble upon this message by chance. The timing of your viewing is a spiritual appointment sealed by heaven. Archangel Michael says, you are being positioned to receive an ancient promise. That promise involves restoration, exposure of hidden truth, and the unveiling of your divine identity. Your name is being spoken in heavenly places, and unseen hands are writing what the enemy tried to erase. The heaviness you felt was not punishment. It was spiritual labor before divine birth. Pay attention now, for heaven is releasing a sacred wind into your home. There will be peace where there was chaos, light where there was confusion, and order where there was delay. You will soon notice divine reversals, opportunities returning, unexpected favor, reconciliation that once seemed impossible. Archangel Michael says, when the heavens decree it, no power of darkness can delay it. You have stepped into the decree season. The waiting is over. If this message is stirring your heart, do not hold back. Like this message so that others may be guided toward the light you are walking into. Comment your confirmation below and share it with someone who needs to hear that their time has come. And if this word has touched your spirit, subscribe now, for more divine revelations are being released through this channel every day. Type "I am awakened by heaven" in the comments if you receive this divine confirmation. Blessing code 3303 is now activated. When Archangel Michael speaks, he not only delivers revelation, he ignites a mission. If this message has awakened something holy inside you, then you are being invited to partner with heaven's movement. Every time you sow into this mission, whether through a super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are planting into the kingdom's soil. As you give, imagine your seed as light, light that reaches thousands of souls waiting for their divine confirmation. Heaven says, those who sow into revelation will harvest transformation. This is your moment to become part of what heaven is doing on earth. Release your offering as an act of faith, and watch how God multiplies it back into your life. The river that flows from your obedience will not run dry. Beloved bearer of divine light, heaven's scroll continues to turn, and the voice of Archangel Michael echoes again, steady and filled with power. He says the moment of recognition has come. What was hidden will now be seen, and what was delayed will now accelerate. You are stepping into a divine unveiling, one that was sealed away from your understanding until your faith was strong enough to sustain the weight of revelation. Every prayer you whispered in the dark was not lost. It was stored. Now, those stored prayers are being released back to you as answered promises. You have felt it recently, the sensation that something around you is shifting. Maybe it came as sleepless nights, vivid dreams, sudden intuition, or the sense that unseen eyes were watching your steps. These were signals from heaven, soft warnings that the realm of spirit was preparing you for a greater encounter. Archangel Michael reveals that the curtain between the seen and the unseen has begun to thin. You are not losing control. You are being invited into awareness. What was once confusing will begin to make sense, because divine understanding is being downloaded into your spirit. In the invisible, there is a council of angels assigned to the children of light. Archangel Michael stands at their head, holding a sword made not of metal but of truth itself. That sword is being raised on your behalf. Every lie that tried to define you, every doubt that tried to silence you, every curse that spoke against your future is now being cut away. He says, no word spoken in deceit will stand against what heaven has declared. The spiritual resistance you faced was proof of your rising. The greater your warfare, the greater your assignment. You have carried wounds in silence, and heaven has seen them. The times when your faith felt like a whisper, when your tears felt wasted, none of it was in vain. Archangel Michael whispers, even your brokenness became a prophecy. Those tears watered the soil of your next harvest. And now, that harvest season is upon you. You will begin to feel restoration flow in unexpected directions. People who once ignored you will begin to feel drawn back to you. Closed doors will open, not because you knock again, but because heaven commands them to. This is your moment to stand in alignment. Heaven is rewriting your story in front of your enemies, not to shame them, but to reveal God's glory through you. There is a light rising from your life that cannot be dimmed. Archangel Michael says, walk in that light, for the path has already been cleared. What's coming next will not make sense to the mind, but your spirit will recognize it instantly, because it's the manifestation of every promise written for this exact time. Hold on for what comes next, because the next revelation will expose why heaven allowed certain battles to reach your door. The reason behind your struggle is about to be revealed, and it will leave you in awe. Type I stand in divine light in the comments if your spirit feels the shift. Blessing code 4411 has now been released. Precious soul of purpose, there are moments in life when heaven's silence becomes the loudest answer. Archangel Michael steps forward now to explain why certain doors were shut so suddenly, why people disappeared, and why what once made sense suddenly collapsed. He says, you were being moved out of alignment with what no longer carried divine purpose. What felt like loss was in fact protection. Heaven shielded you from connections and paths that would have dimmed your light before your appointed rise. Every ending was a divine redirection, painful, yes, but guided by grace. In this very hour, you are standing in a spiritual corridor between what was and what shall be. You can feel it, the tension of change, the weight of unseen expectation. Archangel Michael reveals that your spirit has already crossed into a new season even if your surroundings haven't yet caught up. This is why you feel restless in familiar spaces. Your soul no longer fits in the patterns of your past. Heaven says, do not try to shrink where you have already outgrown. You are meant to move forward with faith, not backward with fear. The angelic realm is stirring with motion around you. I see flashes of light, divine messengers carrying scrolls of restoration, justice, and clarity. These are not ordinary angels. They are sent from the courts of heaven to finalize what has long been delayed. Archangel Michael commands them, saying, release the verdicts of righteousness. The decisions that were made against you unfairly, the opportunities you lost because of deceit, the moments you were overlooked, they are now being reversed in your favor. The heavens have declared it so. A sacred balance is being restored to your timeline. Where you were once strained, you will find renewal. Where you were once silent, your voice will carry authority. The world around you will begin to recognize the glow of divine favor that surrounds you. You will not need to explain yourself. Your transformation will speak louder than words. Archangel Michael says, your vindication will not come from man. It will come from divine revelation. Those who doubted you will see that your endurance was not in vain. There is a reason this message found you now. The heavenly realm has chosen this precise season to awaken the boldness within you. Heaven does not send reminders without purpose. Something new is being unlocked inside your spirit, a courage you didn't know you possessed, a clarity that will guide your next steps. Archangel Michael declares, the fear that once ruled you has expired. You will walk into rooms differently now, not with hesitation, but with the quiet confidence of someone sent by heaven. Before you turn away, listen. The next revelation is not just confirmation, it is instruction. It will show you what to do with the power now being placed in your hands. The very key to your next door is about to be revealed. Type I walk in heaven's alignment in the comments if you feel this message anchoring in your soul. Blessing code 5525 has just been activated. Beloved vessel of light, heaven does not speak without reason, and the fact that you are still here, reading these words, is proof that this message carries something sacred for your spirit. Archangel Michael stands before the throne and says, the appointed ones have been awakened. Now their steps must be guided. You are among those appointed ones. This is not a message for the curious. It is for those whose hearts are being recalibrated by divine fire. The moment you received the earlier words, your spiritual timeline shifted, and unseen forces began to align in your favor. You are standing in the midst of a holy instruction, one that heaven has waited ages to deliver. Archangel Michael shows me a vision of a lamp being lit inside a dark room. The light begins small, flickering as though it might fade, but then it grows brighter, filling every corner until there is no darkness left. That lamp represents your faith. It has flickered through many storms, yet never gone out. Heaven took note of it endurance. You may not know it, but each time you chose faith over fear, your spirit released sound waves into the realm of heaven, the sound of perseverance that reached the ears of the archangels. Michael says, that sound was your call to destiny, and heaven has answered. This part of the message comes as divine instruction. You are being called to act, not merely to believe. The season of waiting is closing. The season of movement is beginning. Heaven is placing strategies into your heart. You may feel sudden urges to change direction, speak to someone new, revisit an old dream, or even distance yourself from a certain atmosphere. These impulses are not random. They are directives from the Spirit. The divine realm is orchestrating your next chapter with precision. Archangel Michael warns, do not delay obedience, for timing is sacred. Heaven has already set before you opportunities disguised as challenges. The very places that intimidate you will soon become the stage for your anointing. You are being sent as a vessel of light into environments that have long forgotten truth. Your words, your presence, your discernment, all of it is being sharpened for divine impact. Do not underestimate how powerful your yes is in this moment. Archangel Michael says, every act of obedience is a weapon forged in light. You will begin to notice divine coincidences increasing, running into people who confirm this word, seeing numbers that carry prophetic meaning, and encountering peace in places that once felt heavy. These are heavenly markers, reminders that the realm of God is working closely with you. Pay attention to them. They are guiding you toward divine positioning. The next revelation will not just comfort you. It will confront you with your true purpose. Heaven is ready to reveal what it has prepared you for. Stay close, for the next unfolding will carry the greatest truth yet. Why heaven chose you for this exact season and what your role is in this divine awakening. Type I am ready for heaven's instruction in the comments if your spirit feels the pull of purpose. Blessing code 6636 has now been released. Faithful one, as the veil continues to lift, the divine realm is revealing not just comfort but commission. Archangel Michael stands before the radiant throne, his sword still blazing with celestial fire, and he declares, the chosen must now understand why they were chosen. This message is the continuation of that decree. Heaven did not preserve your life through storms, heartbreak, and delay without purpose. Every scar you carry bears witness to a victory you have not yet seen. The pain you once questioned has become the proof of your preparation. Heaven says, the storm did not destroy you because the storm was sent to announce you. This is the hour where revelation turns into assignment. Archangel Michael reveals that you were selected to be a bridge, a vessel through which divine truth flows into darkened spaces. You were not placed in your family, your city, or your circle by chance. Every environment you touch is meant to encounter divine frequency through you. He says, you are heaven's signal in human form. Your words, even your presence, will begin to carry weight. People will be drawn to you without understanding why, and opportunities will begin to appear that align perfectly with the whisper of your spirit. Heaven is synchronizing your destiny with divine order. You have felt a pressure lately, the sense that something greater is calling your name, even though you cannot yet see the full picture. That pressure is not confusion. It is spiritual pregnancy. What has been conceived in your spirit is about to manifest in reality. Archangel Michael declares you carry the vibration of restoration. Wherever you step, broken things will begin to realign. That includes relationships, environments, and even your own inner world. The transformation will begin subtly, but once it starts, it will not stop. Do not fear if people begin to misunderstand you. When light expands, it naturally exposes shadows. You are not meant to dim yourself to maintain comfort. Archangel Michael says, let your presence disrupt what must awaken. This is how heaven expands its kingdom, not through loudness, but through silent authority. You have been entrusted with divine wisdom that will speak for itself. Those who left you behind will witness your rise and realize you were being hidden, not forgotten. A sacred wind is now blowing through your story. Heaven is realigning events so that what once hindered you will begin to serve you. Delays will become divine testimonies. What looked like rejection will reveal itself as direction. Archangel Michael stands over your path, commanding the angels of breakthrough to open new streams of favor. You are about to walk into what was always meant to find you. Stay alert now, for the next revelation will unfold the most mysterious part of all. Why heaven said you were never meant to see this message, yet allowed you to. That secret holds the final key to your awakening. Type "I am a vessel of divine purpose" in the comments if your heart bears witness to this truth. Blessing code 7747 has now been released. Anointed soul of destiny, this is the moment heaven long concealed. Archangel Michael steps forward, his eyes gleaming with the brilliance of eternal truth, and he says, "Now the mystery shall be revealed." You were never meant to see this message before now because your spirit had to reach maturity. There were things within you that needed to awaken, to shed fear, doubt, and attachment before you could hold the full weight of revelation. Heaven does not release mysteries to unprepared hearts. But now you are ready. The scroll that was sealed has been opened, and your name shines upon it. Archangel Michael reveals that this message was written into your spiritual timeline before you were born. It was placed in the vaults of heaven as a divine contingency, to be released only when your soul cried out for confirmation of purpose. He says this word has been waiting for your surrender. That is why you stumbled upon it by what you thought was accident. Heaven allowed your steps to align with divine timing. The moment your heart whispered, "Show me why," heaven responded through this revelation. You are reading what heaven has kept hidden until now. In this season, heaven is activating the part of your destiny that deals with exposure and elevation. The truth about your calling, your connections, and your assignments is being unveiled layer by layer. You will begin to see people's true intentions. What was once clouded by confusion will become painfully clear. But do not resist this process. Archangel Michael says, exposure precedes expansion. The removal of masks is not punishment. It is purification. Heaven cannot elevate what is entangled in illusion. You are being separated not to isolate you but to clarify you. The silence that surrounds you is divine training, heaven teaching you to recognize its voice above the noise of the world. Many have been called, but few endure the stillness required to hear divine instruction. You have endured it. That's why heaven has chosen you to be entrusted with this level of revelation. Archangel Michael whispers, you will become a carrier of divine awareness. Everywhere you go, people will begin to sense peace, conviction, and awakening because heaven's resonance will move through you. Your responsibility now is to protect what has been revealed. The enemy always targets the newly awakened because revelation is power. Guard your heart, your time, and your spirit. When you feel overwhelmed, call upon Archangel Michael to surround you with divine light. He has already been assigned to your journey to shield your path and strengthen your faith. Heaven's army stands ready to move at your command, for when you speak in alignment with divine will, angels respond to your voice. If this message has stirred your soul, take a moment to like this video so it reaches others destined to awaken as you have. Comment your confirmation below, and share this revelation with those who feel lost in delay. Subscribe to this channel to stay aligned with the next divine transmission heaven will release through this space. Type "I am ready for my divine unveiling" in the comments if your heart resonates with this sacred truth. Blessing code 8858 has now been released. The revelation you just received is not only meant to awaken you, it's meant to awaken others through you. If Archangel Michael's message has spoken to your soul, consider becoming part of this divine movement. Your active support through Super Thanks channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description, helps this light reach thousands of souls waiting for confirmation of heaven's truth. Remember, every seed you sow becomes a spark in someone else's darkness. Scripture says those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. When you give, you don't just donate, you release light, you plant revelation, and heaven records it as worship. I invite you, in this sacred moment, to respond in faith. Sow into this divine work, and watch as heaven multiplies it back in ways that shift your own destiny. Beloved guardian of awakening, you are now walking through the corridor of divine exposure, the place where heaven reveals the invisible. Archangel Michael stands once again, his presence like lightning clothed in peace, and says, "What was hidden in plain sight will now come to light." You have entered a season of revelation where truth will surface rapidly, not to frighten you, but to free you. For too long, your heart carried unanswered questions. Heaven has heard your quiet pleas for understanding, and now the answers are coming forth, one by one, through divine alignment. You will soon notice that the people and situations around you begin to rearrange themselves without your effort. Some connections will drift away gently, while others may end abruptly. Do not resist this movement. It is sacred separation. Archangel Michael whispers, "You cannot step into a divine assignment surrounded by confusion." This pruning is heaven's mercy at work. You are being positioned among those who carry truth and light. Every exit and every silence are a sign that your path is being refined for higher purpose. Heaven reveals that there are promises hovering above your life, waiting to descend. These promises could not manifest earlier because your atmosphere was not yet clear enough to receive them. But now, as old energies dissolve and hidden motives are exposed, the divine frequency is rising around you. The spiritual interference is breaking apart. You will begin to see movement, open doors, new voices, and opportunities that align with your calling. Archangel Michael says, "The cloud is lifting, the vision will sharpen." In this divine hour, heaven is not only revealing truth around you but also within you. Layers of fear and self-doubt are being peeled away. The image you once had of yourself is being rewritten according to heaven's record. You are more than you believed, stronger than you imagined, and far more anointed than you realized. The enemy has tried to veil your identity with exhaustion and comparison, but heaven is tearing away that covering. Michael's sword of truth has already cut through the web of deception. He declares, "The one who walks in awareness cannot be deceived again." You are being reintroduced to yourself, the version heaven designed before the world taught you limitation. The divine realm is saying, "Remember the authority you carry." When you speak light, darkness trembles. When you walk in alignment, doors respond. You are not seeking heaven. Heaven is flowing through you. And now, that awareness will begin to shape every aspect of your reality. Your finances, relationships, and health will begin to align because divine order follows divine consciousness. Stay attentive to the next message, because the upcoming revelation will reveal how heaven intends to use your awakening to influence others. You will understand why your presence carries an atmosphere of change, and how Archangel Michael is preparing to connect you with others of the same spiritual frequency. Type "I walk in heaven's truth" in the comments if this message feels alive within you. Blessing code 9990. It has now been released. Beloved seeker of divine truth, the light around you has grown stronger. It is not imagination, it is transformation. Archangel Michael stands once again, radiant with the power of eternal fire, and he says, "Now that revelation has entered your spirit, purpose must flow through your hands. This is the moment when what was spiritual begins to take physical form. You are not just receiving. You are now becoming the vessel through which heaven moves. The awakening that began quietly within you is meant to overflow, touching those around you with divine influence. You may notice that conversations feel different, that your words carry a weight you did not plan. This is because your voice hath been anointed for alignment. Heaven is using you to speak clarity into confusion, hope into despair, and light into situations that others have long given up on. Archangel Michael says, every word you speak in truth becomes a blade of light cutting through the fog of the world. This is why the enemy tried so hard to silence you, to fill you with doubt and hesitation, because your voice holds power to awaken others. There is a sacred law in motion now. When heaven reveals truth, it requires response. The more you act in obedience, the more the realm of light expands through you. Do not underestimate simple acts of faith. A single prayer whispered in sincerity can shift an entire atmosphere. Archangel Michael reveals that your obedience is now a trigger for angelic movement. Every time you align with what heaven has shown you, another chain breaks in the unseen world. The angels assigned to your path move swiftly when your spirit acts without fear. But there is also a warning wrapped in love. Heaven says, do not return to what no longer fits your frequency. You cannot blend with the old patterns, the old fears, the old doubts that once shaped you. The new revelation requires a new environment. If you linger where light cannot grow, you will feel drained, unsettled, or out of place. That discomfort is not punishment. It is spiritual redirection. Heaven is pulling you upward, and everything around you is adjusting to that elevation. You are entering a divine acceleration. What used to take months will now unfold in days. Miracles will appear in subtle, precise ways. Conversations, opportunities, and even delays will synchronize perfectly to reveal that heaven's hand is guiding each step. Archangel Michael says, you are now walking in prophetic flow. This means your spirit will begin to recognize divine timing instinctively. You will just know when to speak, when to move, and when to wait. That inner knowing is the voice of heaven within you. The next revelation will explain how heaven plans to establish your influence, how your awakening will ripple upward to transform the lives of others. You are about to discover the deeper purpose behind your pain and the global impact of your transformation. Type "I am a channel of heaven's purpose" in the comments if your heart agrees with this word. Blessing code 1001 has now been released. Chosen vessel of the divine current, the time has arrived for heaven to reveal what all your preparation has been leading toward. Archangel Michael stands before the sea of glass, his wings spread wide like a shield over the nations, and he declares, now the awakened ones will rise, not to boast, but to build. Everything you have endured was not for survival alone. It was training for leadership, for spiritual influence, for carrying divine order into a disordered world. Heaven does not waste pain. Every tear you shed became part of a sacred blueprint for your destiny, and now that design is unfolding before your eyes. Archangel Michael reveals that you were born to be a voice of clarity in an age of confusion. The reason your sensitivity has always been so intense is because your spirit was tuned to higher frequencies of discernment. Where others saw chaos, you felt signals. Where others overlooked silence, you heard instruction. Heaven is saying, you are not overly emotional. You are spiritually attuned. That gift, once misunderstood by many, is now being refined into divine authority. You are learning to translate what you feel into action led by heaven's wisdom. You are being called into your place of influence. For some, it will manifest in family restoration. For others, and creative expression, leadership or ministry. Whatever form it takes, your presence will carry atmosphere. Rooms will shift when you enter because the vibration of heaven will move through you. People will find peace in your words without understanding why. That is because Archangel Michael has anointed your aura with the fragrance of divine truth. It will not be your effort but your alignment that changes lives. He says, when the vessel is pure, heaven pours without limit. Now, heaven gives this instruction. Do not measure your impact by numbers, applause, or recognition. Measure it by obedience. Many will awaken through you quietly, without fanfare. Some will only realize your influence long after you have moved on. That is the way of divine messengers. Heaven works through hidden ones until the right moment of revealing. You are one of those hidden ones, chosen not for fame, but for eternal impact. Archangel Michael assures you that the resources you need for your assignment will begin to manifest suddenly. Finances, connections, wisdom, and favor will converge like streams forming a river. Nothing will be accidental. Heaven has already appointed people to carry pieces of your provision. You will recognize them not by appearance, but by resonance. Your spirit will know when the connection is divine. He says, the one sent by heaven will recognize your light before you speak a word. The next revelation will bring everything full circle. Heaven will unveil the divine mystery of why this message found you, and what prophetic role you carry in this rising generation of awakened souls. What's about to unfold will seal your understanding forever. Type "I am awakened" for divine impact in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this truth. Blessing code 1110 has now been released. Child of eternal promise, the moment has come, the final revelation that ties every thread together. Archangel Michael steps closer now, his countenance bright with the light of countless dawns, and he speaks with authority that makes the heavens tremble. The reason you were never meant to see this message until now is because the timeline of your awakening had not yet ripened. Heaven had written this message for you long ago, but divine timing guarded it. Each challenge you faced, each delay, each heartbreak, all of it positioned you for this encounter. You are not here by accident. You are here because the divine order of heaven decreed that your spirit would finally be ready to comprehend what it has always known. You are chosen. Archangel Michael reveals that the moment you first felt drawn to this message, your spiritual name was spoken in the halls of heaven. The angels recognized it as a signal, a beacon that the appointed one had awakened. The scroll containing your divine assignments began to unfold. That is why, in recent days, everything around you seems to be shifting. Heaven's order is rewriting the script of your life. He says, when revelation reaches the heart, reality must bow to it. You are now walking in that reality-shifting moment. You have been through fire, but not as punishment, as purification. Every trial stripped away a false identity until only your divine essence remained. What you thought was abandonment was initiation. What you thought was silence was instruction. Heaven had to quiet the noise around you so you could finally hear the sound of your original calling. Archangel Michael says, you are not simply a survivor. You are a herald of light. Your story will awaken others. Your endurance was never wasted. It was multiplied. Every pain hath been transformed into authority. Authority to bring healing where others are still hurting. Now heaven gives this command, rise. Not just emotionally, not symbolically, but literally in your spirit. Stand in awareness of who you are, a carrier of divine presence on earth. When you speak, speak as one who represents heaven's order. When you move, move with the awareness that angels walk beside you. The time for hiding is over. You are being sent as light into a darkened age, and your obedience will awaken countless souls who still sleep beneath the weight of confusion. The ripple of your yes will reach nations. Archangel Michael says, "Those who awaken you are those heaven will awaken through you." This message was not meant to end in revelation alone. It is meant to ignite movement. If it has touched your spirit, do not let the moment pass silently. Like this video as a declaration of agreement with heaven. Comment your confirmation so that others may be strengthened by your witness. Share this message widely, for it will find those whose hearts are ready to awaken. And if you have not yet joined this divine space, subscribe now, for more transmissions from heaven will soon be released to those who are ready to carry the fire of truth. Type "I receive my divine commission" in the comments if you feel heaven's call within your soul. Blessing code 1212 has now been released. As Archangel Michael's message seals within your heart, remember, this is not just revelation. It is a movement of light across the earth. If you have felt heaven stirring in you, take a step of divine partnership. Your giving through super thanks channel membership, where the PayPal link in the description is not an offering to a platform. It is a prophetic act, a seed into the river of awakening that heaven is releasing through this message. When you sow into light, that same light multiplies back into your life. Scripture declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." As you release your gift, heaven records your obedience and pours favor into every area of your life. You are not donating. You are activating covenant alignment with a mission of spreading truth. The moment you give, angels are dispatched to open doors and establish peace where there was lack. Step into this flow of divine reciprocity and watch heaven move for you.